All right, let's begin. So, good morning to all of you that have joined this webinar. And thanks for joining in. My name is Abeer, and just by way of introduction, I am an Access Bars facilitator. I've been a practitioner and a facilitator for over 5 years now. I'm also an ambassador for youth with Access Consciousness, as well as a full-time working mother and many other things. So I'm here to talk about one of my favorite things, which is access bars. And just for the one reason that makes it my favorite thing is because I think literally from the time I started this on this journey in 2015, literally everything that was going on for me looks very different. And if you have any questions as I go along this presentation, please feel free to stop me and ask me. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what access consciousness really is. What is access bars? How does it work for kids and adults? We would also be looking at, a couple of points that you can try on your own, and just to experience what changes for you, or how uh, running bars actually looks in reality. So 1 minute. Yeah. So access bars, basically what they are is they're points on the head. Like literally you have 32 points on the head, wherein, because they are located on both sides of the head, they refer to as energetic bars. But essentially they're basically just points which, when you touch very gently, like very light touch, it starts to dissipate whatever energetic charge there is. It starts to slow your brain waves down. So if, let's say, you're in, overthinking mode, and high beta is your brain wave in that case. And when you start to run your bars, it actually slows it down. So you can go down all the way to theta or even gamma in certain cases, which is like really deep sleep, right? And what it does is that it allows you to let go of any fixed points of views that you may have with respect to any aspect of life. So it could be money, it could be creativity, it could be sadness and joy, it could be healing. So like a fixed point of view is basically anything that you're looking at through a certain lens that allows your reality to show up in that manner. So if you've decided that it's going to take me so much time and so much effort to create a book, to write a book, that is how things will show up for you. Versus if you had no point of view about it, then you're allowing things to show up, and open to receive as they show up. So that's what it does. It has the capacity to create these energetic shifts in your body, in your level of awareness. You become more present. You're able to look at things for what they really are, and it allows you to create from that space. And of course, in your level of joy. I remember the first time I got my bars run for like a whole week, I couldn't understand why I was so happy. And it's later on when I took my first bars class that I realized that, oh, okay, that is also one of the side effects. So yeah, what exactly is the bars? What it is 32 points on your head, which when you touch gently, they easily release any fixed points of view that are keeping you in a sort of a funk, or that keeps you from feeling your amazing self. And touching these bars allows the electromagnetic charge that holds whatever thoughts, feelings, emotions that you may be feeling and locking into your body. And it opens you up to a space where you can be fully present with life, and like you can fully receive, and so any defenses or barriers that you may have put up, it allows you to just let it go and just look at things uh, without any judgment, without any point of view. And getting your bars run is what we call when you basically receive a session, which is when someone's running your bars for you, or if you are running your own bars, you can place your own fingers on your head. on certain points, and the bars start running. And it just allows you to lay back and receive, which is not something a lot of people do, right? Like it's difficult receiving in this reality, and it's an opportunity to let go of everything. So like whenever you're getting your bars run, it's just like to set an intention that, okay, I'm ready to let go of whatever's not working for me, even if it is not something that you've acknowledged cognitively. It's a very gentle hands-on technique. It's non-verbal. So unlike other therapy sessions that, which require you to really look at and talk about things, to process through things, in bars, it's very different. Like if you're not in the mood to talk about it, you just want, what's going on for you. You want to let it go, or you just want to relax, slow down, meditate without making an effort. You just lay down and have someone run your bars for you, and it really does quiet the mind. Um, and what about kids and bars, right? So it's very beautiful how it works for kids, because kids really don't have a point of view about things. So compared to adults, because I've heard Dr. Joe Dispenza say this so many times, that by the time you're 35 years of age, your programs are so hard coded that you become a set of your programs and patterns. Your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and how you've been going about life, it starts to define your personal reality, which defines your personality. And so what running bars does is that it undoes those programs, it undoes those patterns, so that you can show up as something else. And especially for kids, they actually don't have a lot of points of views, because up until the age of 6, their predominant brain state is theta, right? And so whatever they pick up is that age where they start to pick up stuff from adults around them, from the point of views that are being projected at them. Like, I don't know, it's a difficult world, you have to study, else you're going to be working in McDonald's, or whatever it is that gets told to these little humans. And it generally, access bars has been offered in a lot of schools, to a lot of orphanages, to a lot of kids, and it's very kid friendly in that, if you have an adult that's taking a class, these kids can just, they're like celebrities, right? So they can just walk into the class, there's no fee generally, if you have a paying adult. And what we've seen is that kids who do this from an early age, they tend to show up in life quite differently. Like they approach life very differently. They don't have a lot of points of views, and they're always living in possibility. They're not concluding, and it's quite amazing how it changes life. So as a general feedback, it's helped kids have more fun and happiness and ease, a little less stress and heartache at home and in school, better sleep, fewer tantrums, and generally an easier time in uh, life. And a lot of families have reported that all sorts of things begin to function in a whole new, wonderful way. And some feedback that I have from kids who did take the class with me, it was amazing. Like, you'd look at them and wonder how much they're absorbing, but they don't actually need to sit in front of you to um, get it the way you think they need to get it, because they're so they're amazing in that you may think they're not paying attention, but trust me, they're really taking in whatever they need to. And it was really cool that when the mums asked the kids to show them what they learned in class, they were able to just do it, because they didn't have a point of view, okay, have I got it? Am I going to do it right? So it happens very quickly for kids. So for example, if um, a session with an adult would probably be 60 to 90 minutes, because trust me, the amount of stuff we have in our heads is unbelievable. With a kid, it can be as fast as 20 minutes, and even when they're giving you a session, they can be done in as fast as 20 minutes, because they just know, right? And they're just superhumans in that sense. So do you guys have any questions at this point? If you do, you may need to unmute. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead with a few tools that are very basic, very simple, yet they can start to shift things. Because access bars, while it is the cornerstone and one of the first classes, one of the first core classes in this body of work called Access Consciousness, there's also a lot of very easy, simple tools that you can use that, just start changing the energy of things. Anytime you're feeling a little stuck, like you can't see a way out, ask a question. Ask a question not to get an answer, because questions can be empowering because they allow you to look at possibilities and they allow you to um, open up to what else is possible rather than just looking at this is what's going on for me, I have to deal with this. If you ask a question, it allows the universe, the consciousness, the higher spirit to kind of give you awarenesses of what else is possible for you out there, because in the quantum field there's basically infinite possibilities, and you can literally tap into any of those. But what happens is that we get so caught up and we get so stuck in the drama of what's going on around us. We make it so real that we forget to look at what else may be out there for us. So when you ask a question, you open the doors to new possibilities and new choices that are available for you. But if you try to answer that, you're kind of limiting those possibilities. Um, it takes you down, it takes you to a path, but then you're not looking at all the other doors that could open for you along the way. But when you ask a question, all the doors along that hallway are allowed to open up. It's kind of like ask and you shall receive. So just simply ask a question. You could do this, just play with it, ask a question daily, out loud or silently, when you get inspired. So I generally do that. I could pause in the middle of the day and be like, okay, what else is possible? How does it get any better than this? These questions, what they do is they really change the energy of a situation, and which keeps us stuck. And especially when you're like just worrying, just stop and ask the question, okay, hey universe, show me what else is possible here. How does it get any better? How does it get any better than this? And ask it from a place of wonder, like really look at, okay, I'm going to ask a question and I'm going to wait for the awarenesses to come to me, rather than concluding that, oh, what else is possible? These are the 5, 6 options that I have. No, it's kind of like just ask what else is possible and allow the, infinite possibilities to show up for you. So ask questions, live in the question and be the question, and have fun. Just really have fun with these tools without a point of view. Use these tools without being vested in the outcome. And what we have here are a couple of, starter questions that you can start off with and you can play with. The one thing that a couple of questions I already talked about. How does it get any better than this? When you ask this for good and bad situations, what it does is, if it is things are going good for you and if they're going great, you're not concluding that this is the best that it can be. What if something greater could show up? So if you ask the question, what else is possible? How does it get any better than this? It allows you to be open to the far greater possibilities. And if things are not going so well and you ask the question, you can actually be open to acknowledging that there is more to your reality than that particular situation. Um, Also, what's right about me that I'm not getting is a question that opens up a lot of stuff, because a lot of times we look at what's wrong with me, how could I do this, how could I make this mistake? But in that, you're not actually trusting your awareness and you're not looking at what's actually right about you or what's right about the situation. So if you think that what's going on is just not okay, what if you just paused and asked, what's right about this that I'm not getting? And then let that unfold, let that show up, but keep asking the question, keep be willing to look at that. All right, I think we have someone that raised their hand. Can you, Fatima, I believe that was you. Would you like to unmute and ask? Okay. All right, let's continue. Um, there are two more tools for you guys. The second tool is basically it's a very simple mantra that we kind of use in Access is that all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And you can literally say this 10 times in the morning and 10 times in the evening. And it's not like an affirmation you say from a point of view that I don't actually believe it, but if I say it a number of times, I actually will. No. So when you say all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory, you need to say it and actually get present with it and actually become okay with opening yourself up to all of life because life is about being open to and receiving everything, the good, bad, and the ugly. It's not about saying that, okay, I'm only gonna be open to the good stuff and I'm gonna resist the bad stuff because what you resist actually persists. So when you do this, when you say this repeatedly a number of times, like all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory, you allow yourself to just relax in the situation and not get in the way, because how often does control work? And especially with life, it allows you to be in the flow. That's how I've come about it. That's how I've come to understand this tool. So let's try it. Let's do it now if you guys are up for it. Let's just say it in your mind or out loud 10 times. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. So there you go. I don't know if you felt things ease out a little bit for you, but play with it. Put a sticky note in your bathroom, a reminder on your phone, like a screensaver on your phone, whatever works for you. And just play with these few tools and see what shows up, right? And lastly, tool number three, and probably one of those that I absolutely love and go back to every time. Um, when I feel that things are getting funky in my head, or just when I would just like to receive, because it's also very, very nurturing for the body. Like you will realize that when you actually try this out. And it's literally like defragging your hard disk. It's like deleting all the old files, all the old programs. It stops, so it brings you to a point where you're not like actually a result, you're not at the effect of anything. You stop functioning from autopilot and you can be actually present and function from choice. um, you can always ask, if I choose this, what will that create? And without getting cognitive about it, just look at, perceive the energy. Like, does it feel light? Does it? Because you can only become aware when you're not clouded by your preconceived notions and judgments about things already. So bars does neutralize everything so that you can look at things for what they really are. And generally, when running bars, we avoid playing soft music because it turns the bars off. But if you're watching TV or, just having a conversation, that's absolutely fine. It literally cuts off the brain chatter. If you feel that, confusion or not able to make any decisions, not able to focus, it allows you to slow it all down or just turn it off. And yeah, like I said, and all that jumble of thoughts that you have, like, sometimes you feel that there's way too much chaos in your head and you can't just relax. It allows you to knock it off and recognize that, when you have too much activity going on in your head, um, it only has that much power that you allow it, because you can choose to turn it off. it gives you that space, right? Like, um, I don't know how many of you may have tried meditating before, but I always love to get some quiet time in my day where I can just clear out the chatter in my head. And that's exactly what it gives you. It gives you that space to just show up as all of you. So that's pretty much everything that I have in terms of what I wanted to talk about. And now I wanted you guys to try something with me. So what I'm showing you now is it's a mini bar session, so to speak. So you have the energy pulse. You have a point on the head, which is called as the implant band, and I'll talk more about it when we come to that. And lastly, a point, a position on the head, which allows to kind of integrate everything, and it stops you from recreating what you have let go of during this session. So are you guys up for that? Should we begin? You only need your head and your fingers. That's all. Okay. So I don't think that I can turn on your videos. We don't have the option in the webinar, but if you feel like you have a question, please just ask me, all right? So, okay, I think I have something on the chat. Okay, cool. All right, so let's start with the energy pulls. And basically what the energy pulls do is it starts to, it helps in kind of regulating the flow of energy in your body, and it really allows the body to relax. We have 3 energy pulls that we do, and I'll walk you through each of those. Okay, so what you start with is you put one hand on the back of the person's head. So like the occiput, right? Just at the base of your skull. I don't know if you can see, but like right here, you can see on this diagram here, um, the darkened portion at the base of the skull is called the power band. So you have your thumb at the occipital lobe of the head, basically here, right? Like right behind, and 3 fingers go onto the third eye like this, right? So what you're going to do is, let's say you can do it for yourself, you can do it for someone else also. You just place your hands here, all right, and um, you just you can just start off with visualizing, or it's pulling energy is nothing but it's not something that you cognitively do. It's something that you can ask for that to happen and it happens, or you can just visualize, like, energy flowing through the feet of the person, through their body, through the head, through your hands, and out the top of your head, right? um, so do you guys want to try this now? And let me know if you have any questions. So that is the first energy pull that you do. What it does is you're flowing energy from the feet, through the body, through your hands, and out the top of your head if you're doing it for someone else. The second one is on the feet. The second point is on the feet, where you have the balls of your feet. So just below the balls of your feet, you have like an indentation. You place your middle finger in that indentation below the ball of the feet. And again, you pull the same energy, but in the other direction. So you're pulling energy through the head, through the body, through their legs, their feet, into your hands, and out the top of your head. And then the third one is basically on, and you place your fingers, your middle finger goes into the center of the palms of the person that you're doing it for, and both, and such that the position looks somewhat like this, so that their middle finger is touching the center of your palms. Okay, and what you do is You now pull again, you do an energy pull, you pull energy from their head through their arms, their hands, through your hands, your arms, your neck, and out the top of your head. Um, and you can do it happens really quickly, or you can do it for as much as 5 minutes. It's totally up to you. You've got to follow your awareness. There's no right and wrong in this. Okay, so what it does is it really does regulate the flow of energy. The body just relaxes. You will find that if the person was talking to you before very actively, they might just slow down and even stop talking. And a good way to know how they're perceiving it is always to ask them how they're feeling, and you'll get your feedback. The second point that we do is, I think this is amazing. This is probably when I don't have time to get like my bars run fully, the one thing I resort to is just running my implant band, because I can do it myself. Just put myself in a position where I have a nice cushion behind my head or not. It's totally up to you. And just place your fingers. Try it with me. So this implant band is just behind your ears. Okay, so we say that it's in the valley, right behind the hill. So if you place your fingers right behind your ear and you take them backwards, you'll find like there's like little hill, right? And when you go below that, further back, there's this, you'll find an indentation. So you can place 2 or 3 fingers, then you'll find like a little ridge over there, and just say implant band, implant band, implant band. You can say this 3 times and the bar actually turns on. That's the beauty about this, that you even if you name the bar 3 times, the bar starts to run. So what do you mean by the bar starts to run? I mean that it starts the energetic, it starts releasing the electromagnetic charge. You start to feel more relaxed, and different people perceive it differently. Someone may not feel anything. So if you're like new to energy and stuff, don't judge yourself if you don't perceive the energy running, but just trust that it does. Some people feel like a little heat, some people feel a little vibration. So it differs, right? And so just, yeah, just place your hands there and and let it run and place it there until you find like you'll feel a difference in whatever's going on for you. When is a good time to do the implant band? When you're angry, when you're feeling jealous, when you're, because all these are distractors. Yeah, these are not if you go into judgment of you every time you're being angry or feeling envious or just OCDing on something, you're actually going to make matters worse for you. So instead of that, try and just run your implant band next time, and you will recognize that anger is nothing but a distractor. It's kind of it keeps you from being present. Every time you're being angry, you're not looking at, okay, what is it actually that's going on? Is there a potential here that I'm not looking at that's making me angry? So instead of going into those distractors, just run your implant band, and you can just try it now. Just say implant band, implant band, implant band. And one of the important things here is that when you're running bars or you're doing it for anybody else, just make sure they're not crossing their hands like this. They can place their hands on their body like this, or their hands can be by their side, because it disturbs the flow of energy. Even if the hands are like this, energetically, it will still obstruct the flow of energy and how the bars are running. So just make sure that that one thing you keep mindful of. The other thing is watches need to come off, because it has happened in the past that the watches have stopped working, right? Crystals, ideally do not wear crystals when you're running bars, because what happens is that crystals regulate the energy flows in the body, and so that can interfere. And again, like every individual is different. So see what happens and play along with that. And also one more thing to know is that if an individual is using a pacemaker or anything that helps their body function, that's fine. That's fine. The bars do not interfere with that. And also, individuals, different people have different levels of sensitivity. So if for someone a light touch is absolutely fine, or a little pressure might be fine, but for someone, even if you're just placing your fingers without pushing them in, someone might feel like you are. So always it's a good idea to ask the person if they're okay with the touch, if they're okay with the pressure. And then lastly, you have, and you know, in plan ban you can run for as long as 30 minutes. Just really, please guys, try this and let me know how it shows up for you guys. And lastly, the last point that we have here for this mini session demo is called restructuring of bodies. So you can actually use this after anything, like, you know, you can use it after a chiropractor appointment, you can use it after any other therapy that you're doing, because basically what it does is it integrates everything. It stops you from recreating whatever you've actually worked on during the session, right? So how do you actually do this? You see these points on the head, right? So time and space is this point right here. So if I just take my fingers and I take a V and I move my fingers back just so that, you know, my finger is just behind the hairline, you'll find like a little indentation that is time and space. Your little finger goes at the base of the skull to power band, and your thumbs will go along the head like this so that it's aligned with the outside edges of the eye, like that. So your hand position is somewhat like this, all right, on the head. And you can run that like for a minute, for a bare minute, and that's basically called restructuring of bodies. We always finish a bar session with this, even if we're doing anything else. Yeah, it's best to do that. So like Gary Douglas, who's the founder, he suggests that you do that after literally any kind of healing, any kind of therapy, any kind of session that you've gone through. It just works. And yes, that brings us to the end of this mini bar session. Any questions? Yes. We can definitely do it to ourselves. I do it all the time. And there's also another way of doing it. So you can most definitely place your fingers on your head and do it. And apart from that, you can also just when you're going to bed, you know, just keep a reminder. That's what I do a lot of times. Just keep a reminder to ask for your bars to run on their own. So what I do is, and how it is supposed to be done is that you just say, you know what the power band is now. So you just, you know, press it a little and you ask for the power band to turn on. And then whatever bar it is that you want to run, you say the name of the bar thrice. If I want to run, if I have money issues going on, let's say, you know, if I have a funk going on about money, and I want to I'm done with it. It's not working for me anymore. And if I haven't had the time to do it for myself during the day, I would just ask for, you know, money is also the name of one of the bars. So I would just say money bar, turn on, connect to power band and run till completion. And then you just let it run. I mean, try this for like 30 days straight. Do it with the implant band or do it with the money band, but don't do it for more than 3 at a time, okay? And see how that works for you. Okay, I think Sholin has raised her hand, so yes, please.
Thanks, Abeer. The question I had was for children. You know, what would be the right age to get them to practice this? And when a child signs up to do the course, is it better for the child to do it with an adult, or are they able also to practice this on themselves?
Kids can absolutely do this with themselves, you know, except that there needs to be a partner. The ideal age for me, look, honestly, it depends from kid to kid. Children who basically grow up having their parents doing this around them, they, you know, because of the fact, because of the mirror neurons, they can pick up easily and they can start, because it's fun for them, just like they learn how to use the broom or the mop or whatever. But if a child is completely new to this environment and they're coming for a class, in my view, I think if the child is attentive, 5 years or even 6 years and above is perfect, for kids to learn this and understand what's going on and pay attention. I would say that's the correct age, and kids get it very, very easily. I've had kids do it with me in person. I've had kids do it with me over like a Zoom class, and trust me, because how I do it is I first walk them through and show them and make them practice the points on their each point on their head, on their partner's heads as we're going along, and then we do the full session where the kids are gonna run all the points together on one person and then have their partner do it for them. So it requires that they have a partner with them in class or have their parent around them if they are attending alone, because it won't work if the child is all by themselves and not able to practice on anyone. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did answer my question. And
Okay.
so for the children to attend this seminar, it's a longer course, right? And there is also a
Yes.
certification at the end of it.
Yes, yeah, let me talk about that. So it's amazing. We have a really cute manual for the kids. It's very visual. And we have a special certificate for all kids participating. So what it does is they will be official bars practitioners. It would be, generally in my experience, the class may go up to 4 hours, so like 3 to 4 hours, because we don't hammer a lot of you know text into the manual for children, because they learn in a more visual and interactive manner. So that's why the class goes faster for them. And like I said, if they're swapping, if it took 90 minutes for an adult for one session, the kids are done in 20 minutes, right? So it goes faster. If an adult class is 8 hours, then a kids class is going to be like 4 hours. And I'm guessing your next question would be that do you think that kids would last 4 hours? So yeah, it is interesting. Time goes fast, and they are able to. I'm not saying that there won't be kids that would be totally distracted, but they are able to pay attention, and they really get it. Like, I had one kid that I was like, okay, I probably need to ask his mom to, come and go through all of this again with me, just so I make sure he's got it. But I realized later on that was not the case, because when she sat with her kid, and he started doing it for her, he went through the manual, the various positions. She was like, it was very, very relaxing for me. And he seemed to know everything that I was, quizzing him on. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And that's what the thing with kids, they have this amazing capacity to multitask, or be, distracted with multiple things, yet absorb what it is that they need to. So yeah, in my last class, I had about 10 kids, and I'd say 2 out of those 10 were like super distracted, but they got it regardless. Like, even when one of those kids started doing it for her mom at the end of the day, when she was asking her to show her what was going on, she's like, in the first 10 minutes or even less than that, I was already snoring. And I was like, wow, I have no words. It's amazing. And I wonder what we can all create, if this is something that becomes like a very cool and easy natural go-to tool for kids. They might probably not get caught up in any refractory period. All right. And, if we don't have any questions, I'm just gonna talk about what we have next is that we have a class planned for the 6th of November for children. It will be, a maximum of 4 hours. And your kids will get a manual and they will be certified and they will be, it goes into the records as them being a certified bars practitioner. So if at a later date they choose to become a facilitator, which is, they want to take another bars class, a full day bars class once they've crossed the age of 18 or even 16, um, they would only be paying half price for that because they will be in the records. And yeah, they might even be able to charge for sessions if they want to. So that's what you would get as an end result, of course, other than the fact that things might show up very, very differently for your child, and I wonder what possibilities they can play with. And apart from that, I'm also open to doing a class for adults. If you guys are interested, just reach out either to me or to the SwitchED team, and we can set something up. Online classes are at the moment permissible only till the 15th of November. So if you guys are interested in taking up a class over Zoom, please reach out to us and we'll take it forward from there. For adults, it will be a full day class. It's an 8-hour class. You need to have 2 people. If it needs to be done over Zoom, 2 people have to be in the same location because it's a hands-on process. You need to gift and you need to receive. Um, yeah, so that's how it works in a nutshell. Um, any questions from you guys? Anything else that you want to know? All right, so
Thank you, Abir. That was very informative. Thank you for sharing all the information with us.
all right. What will be the time? We're gonna start at 10 a.m. on the 6th of November, and yeah, so it will be like 10 to 2. Yeah, with a break in between, of course. Um, and that's pretty much it. That's for children. For adults, if we start at 10, we end up around 5 or 6, or it depends. Sometimes it goes even longer if the adults want to do like much longer sessions on each other when they're practicing. Because as adults, you need to gift and receive twice during the class. But yeah, it's a full 6 to 8 hour class for adults. And I think, the registration details for the kids class are already on the SwitchEd website. So feel free to go check it out. If you guys want to know anything further about what Access is or anything, any other questions that you have that you come up with after this webinar, feel free to reach out to me. My number is right here. And also check out the website. I highly encourage that you go check out the website. There's a ton of resources out there. Check out the YouTube channel for Access Consciousness as well. There's unbelievable amounts of resources and videos and tools that you can use. We have something amazing called the Access Clearing Statement, which you can actually use on anything, any kind of thing that's going on, and that starts to change and dissipate the energy of things. So you can check that out at www.theclearingstatement.com. And there are lots of videos that will explain to you how to use it. Play with the tools. I hope it makes a difference to your lives. And if you have any questions at any point, feel free to reach out to me. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining. And it was an honor having all of you here with us. Thanks, Sholin. I think I'm done from my end. If you have anything to add, otherwise we can close.
No, that's perfect, Abeer. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing these details. I'm sure there were a couple of people who couldn't attend and have requested for the recording, which we will share with them. And any
Okay.
further questions, of course, we'll direct it your way. Thank you for your
Done
time.
deal. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.